This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, we opt to play yet another game. It's Saw 3. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cavan.
And we hate movies.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
Sometimes that is murder.
Zombies have entered the building. They're at the door. They're coming in.
It is time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
He's sick fucks. You've seen one too many movies.
Nah, Sid! Don't you blame the movies! Movies don't create psychos! Movies make psychos more creative!
Put the fucking lotion in the bag!
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in, as always. That's right. This week, we're getting a little spooky. We're getting a little gross. We're getting a little very Jeffrey. It's Saw 3 from '06, directed by Darren, Lynn, Bousman. I think, there's things like, what is it? What holds the record for most fucks? Is it Lebowski? Is it Casino? One of them there, motion pictures?
Sure, that's not, one of those sounds correct.
I think Saw 3 holds the record for using the name Jeff in your dialogue the most.
Jeff.
That's got to be a record.
Well, let's get into that.
Yep.
I mean, hello, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Hello. I even laughed at the beginning. It was like, hello, Toby, or whatever that first guy's name is, or like Tommy. And the thing is, like, the way that works, the way that's not funny is if it's, hello, Mr. Stevenson. You know, like, hello, Officer Lambert. Like,
Right.
these are that's creepy.
Yes, formal. Yeah.
Formal is the way you want to go. Not, hey, Jay, buddy. Hey, Jay, dogs. How's it going?
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? You're gonna die.
I'm looking for the J-Man.
What's happening, J-Bone?
Toss me a beer, and then you will die.
Well, look, I'd like you to play a game for me. I didn't think this all the way through, but you are going to play a game of some sort.
Actually,
J-Bone.
Jeff, I meant I want to watch a game. Turn on football.
Turn on football. Atlanta Falcons.
Hey, Jeff, how do you feel about football, Jeff?
Yeah, actually, Jeff, I just got back from a nice weekend trip to the PC Richards and bought myself a big screen TV. Got itself a 4K screen, and we're going, J-Bone and me, we're going to watch the Seahawks.
And that's right, Jeff. On this time, you're going to have to choose a side. I know they both have great athletes on either team, but you must choose one.
Hey, Jeff, do you want to play a game? I'll give you like $20 if you could do a Tostitos dip in the salsa without breaking your chip. It's nearly impossible. Jeff, it's nearly impossible.
Hey, Jeff, just wanted to call and see if you saw that new Joe Buck intro. God damn, that guy's great. He's just great. What a broadcasting legend, don't you think, Jeff? Oh, by the way, this is Jigsaw. Gotta go.
Hey, Jeff, if I Venmo you $20, will you pick me up a KFC cluck bucket?
Hello, Jeff. Would you like to play a game? Let's pretend we're internet general managers of various football teams, and at the end of the season, someone will win $100. Yeah, it's actually fantasy football, Jeff.
Look out, Jeff. I just picked up someone on the waiver wire.
Hey, Jeff, just needed to let you know, yeah, I got banned from FanDuel again. Yep, it was because of all the threats. Yep.
Yeah, Jeff, you're going to have to meet me at DraftKings.
If you haven't seen this movie, there's a character named Jeff in it. And people say his name an awful lot, not just Jigsaw. I mean, like, that's what makes it so comical. This is, I think around We Hate Movies, we call this the Bosch rule. Mm-hmm. If you listen to our Chud commentary, everyone in that movie is just saying Bosch left and right. When they're addressing Bosch, it's always a hey Bosch, that's what's going on here. And what happens is in screenplays, like, it's just so goddamn distracting. You need to at least mix it up where, like, if Jeff has a profession, right, like you said, Steve, someone is calling him Dr. Whatever, then you can have a Mr. Whatever, and then maybe here and there you get a little personal, you call him Jeff.
Well, we don't get a Jeffrey, do we? It's all Jeff.
No, yeah, it's
all Jeff.
It's all Jeff.
Jeffrey would be better, Chris. I kind of agree.
It would. It absolutely would. Because if it's a Chris versus Christopher, I want a Christopher.
Well, because that way, like, it's more formal. That way, it kind of sounds like it's your parents yelling at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, if Jigsaw really wants to spook this guy, like, Jeffrey, oh, my God, it reminded me of my grandmother, or something like that.
Yeah, and this guy's just a meat sack, Jeff, and it's give me a character at all in these movies. I know this guy's got the weepy backstory that propels him into this nefarious game, but it's just a non-character. It's
a non-character. It's Angus Macfadyen, Warriors of Virtue's own Angus Macfadyen,
Indeed.
and that which means 7 people passed at least.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even do we get his profession? Was he like a lawyer or something?
I don't know if you do get his profession. His spoiler alert, his wife's a doctor. She's making the big bucks. Here's the question. Why not just I would go through all the new kids, if that's the thing. We got Donnie in the last one. Let's get Joey, Jordan get in there. I think, was there a Jonathan? I think there was.
See, you're going to run into the problem I'm having is that I do not remember any of them other than Donnie. Because he's Mark Wahlberg's brother.
Well,
yes.
I remember Joey Fatone. That's one, right? Is that
no? He was in sync.
I only remember. By the way, I only remember him because his last name makes me laugh because I'm always like Joey Fat One.
That's true.
Oh yeah. So okay. So here we go. Jonathan and Jordan Knight. They were brothers.
Okay.
Then of course you had probably the next famous down from Donnie Wahlberg would be Joey McIntyre. He kind of had a career post NKOTB.
Nope.
And then another dude, Donnie Wahlberg, of course, and then another dude, Danny Wood.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the new kids on the block.
All from Massachusetts, man.
Yep, that's what you want, dude. New England boy band, absolutely.
Danny Wood, you like to play a game.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Don. Hey, Joe. See, it's just dumb.
It's not good. It's not. But yeah, like, get all the new kids one after another. There's so many of these fucking movies. Each one stars a different new kid in a series of infernal traps.
Steve, stop. Don't you be trying to make this movie fun. Don't you fucking dare.
Dude, wait a second. And then, Steve, great idea, because then you could retitle this franchise entirely and it could just be called New Kids on the Chopping Block.
Oh. I would much rather watch that. I want to watch boy band members drown in pig juice. Just pigs that are ground up. Yeah.
But that's the thing. And you, Chris, you just alluded to it. But Andrew, I'm going to take umbrage with the way you started this episode. You said we like to get spooky. This movie's not spooky. Give me a cackling witch or a barren house, and like a ghost would be great. Like even a creak in the attic, and you don't know what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
sure,
something.
This is the problem when you film an entire movie inside the same warehouse in Toronto, and you apparently don't let any of the cast see the outside world at all. Like, this is very much like, I mean, it's supposed to kind of mostly be one location anyway, but like the parts that are also like supposed to be separate locations are just all the same building, and like, yeah, none of it's spooky. I mean, that was the wrong word for me to use. I think if anything, Steve, I just said that because I plan on in post putting in the spooktacular
for
theme
sure.
song.
And I mean, it's fair because this is a horror movie, but I mean, again, like, I just don't find these scary even in the least.
It's horror in the unpleasant mode. Like, it's Human Centipede Part 2 area. It's not quite that. It's not like a symphony in that way, but like it's pretty bad.
The scariest part, and I think we can all agree here, the scariest part, the most innovative Jigsaw trap here is it's called the Lion's Gate. And you see this gate. I guess Jigsaw has the key and it opens up. It's very terrifying.
And first lines of this movie: "You bitch, you fucking bitch, I'm gonna kill you," which I believe were the last words.
Is that the
in the last
director's
movie
commentary? Or?
I know. It's just like,
It
Come
is
on.
it is the last words of Saw 2.
So you're just a bookending with misogyny is what you want.
There's a couple of things with this intro I did want to point out. One, I think I ragged on this on our last episode for Saw 2. I still hate this Twisted Pictures logo. I think it is so edgelord stupid. But the other thing, this is a huge chuckle. There's a couple of chuckles in this movie. The huge chuckle right up front, a film by Darren Lynn Bousman. Oh, LOL, if there were ever a time to use the fucking word movie. Come on.
The Twisted Pictures logo, it really does. It's like a fake horror movie company in a Joe Dante movie.
Yes.
Yep, you're totally right, dude. It always sucks. It continues to suck. I don't know if they make things besides Saw movies, but if they are, and this thing is still out there, it fucking sucks.
I need both IMDb and Wikipedia to stop getting snowed by contract negotiations, because it's like, oh, did you know that James Wan and Lee Wanell and Darren Lynn Bousman didn't even want to make this movie. They didn't want to do it, and then
their buddy died.
Yeah, and then they made 6 more of these. Darren Lynn Bousman's directed 4 of these, and he's directing, coming out this Friday, Spiral as well. So, like,
that's just a bunch of horse hockey, isn't it?
I do want to. I correct myself. Spiral came out last Friday.
Oh, there you go. What was I going to say about all that? Oh, the thing too is like, yeah, there was that thing where one of the original producers on the first Saw or whatever passed away suddenly
in a trap.
No, a weird thing. He went to the hospital with like neck pain and just died.
Ugh.
Sounds like one of the classic,
Not making any light of this dude's death, but like what sucks is, and I think they avoided it here a little bit, like it says at least in, all the Tribune trivia nonsense, and I think they reference some commentaries or whatever that like they made this movie like in a dedication to that guy or whatever, in his memory. At least it doesn't come up, unless I missed it in the credits, it doesn't come up like dedicated to the memory of whatever the guy's name was, because as always when you do that, with some rare exceptions like The Dark Knight and a couple other places, they are usually horrendous ass movies that someone like died during the production and then like forever cemented on film is a dedication in their memory.
You should just superimpose a dedication over the hogwash scene. just right there, just like make it go slow-mo and just put it fade into a dedication to this man.
This one's for you, Jerry.
As a rotten fucking pig turns into slop.
What a waste of pigs too, this fucking guy Jigsaw. What are you doing?
Exactly. That's you got to respect the animal and you get to eat it.
After you're done doing your little saw trap, you take that pig slop down to the soup kitchen.
No, but it's got Judge all over it at that point.
You just boil it, dude.
This pig gumbo tastes like Judge.
Look, maggots have protein in them. It's all good for everybody.
They actually, they are good for you.
It's almost as if the laughs like kind of keep on coming at the beginning of this movie, because I'll tell you what is hilarious, even though it's totally grotesque and awful. Donnie Wahlberg just bashing his ankle with this toilet seat cover. I was kind of laughing.
I know that, like, if I remember correctly, he's worried about the fate of his son, who I believe lives at the end of the second movie.
Yeah, the son is like locked in a safe, and then the door just kind of automatically opens, and the son is okay. But D. Wahlberg does not know that.
But I would, I would have to wait a little while before I started maiming myself. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like he's been in here for, like, the door closes and he's already fucking hacking at that foot. I'm like, I don't know, maybe she'll come back. You know what I mean? Maybe this is like a prank and in 20 minutes I'll be let out kind of a thing.
Or just sit there and die. Like, I'm not playing these games. This is ridiculous.
No. Well, maybe he's one of those people that, like, maybe he has to really take a shit, but he's one of those guys who can only do it at his home base.
That's tough.
And, like, if you're doing that and you're in this fucking situation, what do? You have to chop your fucking ankle off with a toilet seat cover? What was this thing?
It's not to save his kid. It's not to get his life back. It's not to live. It's to get home to take his shit, of course.
It's urgency, Eric. You got to think about urgency.
Oh man!
Oh no, I'm turtle heading. Better break it.
I don't even know if there's toilet paper here. Okay, that's it. Goodbye, ankle.
The funniest / saddest part about this beginning is it's obviously he's in the room from the first movie. That's where they left him in the second movie, and now it's in the third movie. That room is very important. They lost the set or something, and they had to borrow the set from Scary Movie whatever that parodied the Saw movie.
4, I believe it's Scary Movie 4, if I read that right.
Which is fucking funny to me.
Yeah, it kind of is, man. I believe I saw up to admit this on the air, Andrew. I think I saw up to Scary Movie 4 in theaters.
Wowzers.
I saw 1 through 4 in the fucking theaters, man. So there's a shot I saw that Saw parody. I have no memory of it, but I'm pretty sure I saw it.
Whatever the one with James Woods doing The Exorcist. That was the last one I saw.
I believe that's the beginning of part 2, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not make it far into Scary Movie. Not my cup of tea. I got it. 1 and 2, I think, is all I made.
Agree there.
Well, it was a thing where, like, I really liked that first one, and then so when the second one came out, I was like, well, definitely, that first one was pretty cool. And, like, around, like, Chris Elliott, I think, sucking his own dick in a wheelchair or something, I was kind of like, perhaps I've made a grave mistake. And then for some reason after that, saw another 2. I gave them 2 more chances in the theater, everybody.
That's right, Chris Elliott. To escape this wheelchair, you'll have to suck your own dick. Can you do
dude, yeah. If that's my kind of Saw trap, dude, I'd be happy to die trying.
Exactly, man. So yeah, we open on it's whatever. Donnie Wahlberg like breaks his leg and kind of starts to escape. You don't know what happens to him. Put a pin in that. We open on Kerry. Hello, Kerry. Dina Meyer, who is the detective in 2 of these movies. And again, why not? I've never understood why everyone's just calling this woman Kerry. It's like detective whatever, It's
just no fucking respect for this woman working in law enforcement, dude. And am I remembering correctly? She's Donnie Wahlberg's partner also.
Yeah, and she
I think is the deal.
They allude to them having some sort of romantic thing that ruined his marriage, if I remember correctly.
Right. That's right. So she's like on the case. They have a SWAT team like breaks into a room. They discover a corpse. They call her in. She's freaking out, but she's informed right away by future series regular Costas Mandylor that this is not Donnie Wahlberg. Yeah, the cop, the nothing cop, Eric, that's like, oh, hey, that's not Donnie Wahlberg. That motherfucker, massive player in the grand scheme of things with Jigsaw.
Humongous.
Costas Mandylor. Is he like Jango Fett's little brother?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, Bob Costas Mandylor.
I should say that I've seen Saw 4 before this. I've only seen these. I've seen 1 in theaters, and everything other one I've done only for podcasts. I saw 4 on the Kill by Kill podcast for their Saw's Giving episode, and there's a lot of Costas Mandylor in that one.
Nice. Any does he have his armor?
He does not. There's a lot of him. It's worse than this. But that's the one that gives you Jigsaw's backstory with his wife and like all that shit.
This just like this desperate fucking like, oh crap, we killed Tobin Bell in this third movie.
Yes.
How the fuck do we keep bringing him back? Like, goddamn, that's dumb.
Just go Ghost at that point, dude. That'll make this at least spooky.
That's just it's just a prequel then, or what?
No, it's like flashbacks.
It's flashbacks that I believe the movie itself takes place. Kind of concurrently with this one because it's kind of a weird freak out. At some point in this movie, Jigsaw, you'll see, will put wax on a little tape. It's really a blink and you miss it thing. Yeah. What he does is he eats that. So when he dies in the next movie, the tape's like, "Do you want to play a game?" But the twist is that this is all of part 4 is happening right now during part 3, and then the end of 4 is basically when 3 ends too. And if it's basically the Event Horizon thing where you fold the piece of paper and put a hole through it. Right. That's Saw 3 and 4.
And I'm Chris Cabin. Take it easy.
Yeah, he's done.
I'm gone. The fuck was that?
This is fucking nuts, man. Okay, and also like Jigsaw as a villain, to me personally, not very compelling because it's just it's this cancer grampy that's, oh, I'm so sad that I have to die.
Yeah, this dude sucks, and all of this like self-righteous like I'm cleansing society and like helping people get their lives back on track. Like fucking suck it, Jigsaw, you douchebag.
That's what I always want to know. Like, what does the movie think? What should I think about Jigsaw? Is he a good guy or what?
If you were to watch the movie and take it seriously, they believe that what he's doing is at least somewhat viable.
Yeah.
Morally.
That's right, because I'm the only person to ever get cancer, and that's pretty fucked up. And I should have revenge on people. For why? I don't know.
I mean, it's like those got to be the same motherfuckers that watched like Joker, and they were like, "Yep, yeah, he's doing it. He's finally fucking saying it."
Hello, Justine. I was one of your patrons at the local Applebee's. You served me, and you gave me a look when I asked you to take the fries back and make them a little hotter and crispier. Well, yes. Now you'll know the real. Fuck it. I don't.
You'll notice that there's an apple on your head. Remove it, and the bees will start coming out.
Thank you, Eric.
But that's the thing. You're right though, Chris. It's all like boomer grievances. When he's Lynn, who's basically sort of the protagonist of this film, when he's like, "Oh, there you are, treating another patient like a bunch of numbers with like and blah blah blah. You can't just sit down and talk to a guy like a regular guy. So now you're gonna be in hell. Yeah."
You're right. It's so fucking stupid. Oh, I'm sorry that a doctor views doctoring as like a job. Like of course they're gonna think like that. Why would they? What are they gonna fucking break down and cry at work every single day because of all the death they see?
Absolutely. And on the other side of that, I totally understand being like bummed out by like a doctor's lack of bedside manner. Like I've experienced that. It's disappointing. Sure. But to set off like this whole fucking bullshit nonsense thing just because like you had a bad experience with doctors, or like these doctors couldn't be miracle workers, like he's got this fucking beef with Kerry Elwes and whatnot, he couldn't save your inoperable tumor. Like that's not his fault. Sorry you worked at the fucking radiation plant or whatever you did, Jigsaw.
Yeah,
like
get a second opinion and I don't know, fucking just write a little manifesto and die like a normal person.
If you were going to really follow up with the kind of person this guy is, what he should be doing is like hunting down all the people who downvoted his like comment in a Reddit subthread or something like that. Like, hello, Justine Bangers 3000. You said that I was wrong to say that I like Drive because I think it gives men a lot of power. Well, now you're gonna find all the power in the drill next to your head.
If I was Jigsaw, I'd be like, "Hello, Fred. You decided to use your phone to try and pay at Starbucks, but it took like 10 fucking minutes because that never works. You should have just used a card like a normal person. Now you're going to drown in boiling hot coffee."
I'd watch that one.
My favorite one is the Dina Meyer one when he gets her, and it's literally like, hello, Kerry. You're good at your job. Fuck you. Goodbye.
Exactly. Well, because so basically they find out it's not Eric, and she's like says something. I'm having nightmares about Eric. And by the way, I should say I watched the director's cut.
Man, super fan. Saw super fan.
To put my pinky up when I said that. And I don't know what else is. I think some of the stuff. There's some stuff that's extended. Who gives a shit?
I think, Steve, from what I was reading, I think you saw a different ending than the three of us did.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Just slightly different, but let's analyze that when we get to it. But yeah.
So she's like, I've been having nightmares about him, blah, blah, blah. And then you cut to Kerry in her apartment, which I'm sure is still in the same fucking factory the rest of this movie's filmed in. And I'm like, can I get a scene where she like just goes out for lunch?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just her at lunch and she's looking at files and it's nice.
Some sunlight, maybe?
That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely not.
You filmed this in Toronto. It's a beautiful city. There's parks everywhere. Fucking figure it out.
Or set up a fucking picnic table in the parking lot of this warehouse. You know what I mean? And call that a restaurant. I'll believe it. Just Dina Meyer and a fucking salad. That's all I need.
And this is like you see her getting like kidnapped, right? Because like she has not a premonition. She like thinks she sees Donnie Wahlberg in the mirror, turns around and like she's not, he's not there, obviously. But then like, like so many doors in this movie, her bedroom door like closes by itself or something, and then like mysteriously, it's a pig-headed person. She like gets kidnapped
because she's watching the tape of whatever, and then
right. But okay. So here's my question about this tape. Did anybody else, unless I looked down and missed something here, she's watching like the Jigsaw want to play a game tape,
sure,
and then it goes immediately somehow to a live video feed from her closet.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
What is that? How the fuck are you making a movie after the year 2000 and you don't understand how video feeds work? Makes no sense at all.
Well, I guess she's like,
you taped over my episode of Coach, Kerry. You're in trouble now.
This series isn't out on DVD. I had all of the episodes taped for my personal collection so I could watch at my convenience. And now I'm missing an entire episode of Coach, Kerry. That's right, Kerry. I took an electrician learn from home course. And I learned how to send the feed directly to your TV directly after the tape ended.
He should do a laugh. You know what,
He
Chris?
should.
You know
my
what? God damn it, Kerry. You taped over the episode where Dauber has to struggle to get his license renewed, and that's comedy gold. You don't just tape over television history like that, Kerry. You just don't. Dauber.
Are we skipping over this Hellraiser death that happens?
I mean, it's kind of around here. Yeah, this dude Troy chained up like he opened the fucking puzzle box.
Okay.
And he's just like in a school, I guess.
Yeah, is it like a closed school? I didn't understand this either. Like, are kids coming in the next morning? Like,
See, this is where characters might be helpful. Like, show me Troy's, day in a life. We come to find out that he's a prisoner, and like that's bad.
Yeah,
he was a prisoner. He got released, and he was a repeat offender. He went to prison a few times. Maybe he's a janitor at the school now, and that's why we're at the school. I don't know. Maybe he's getting his life back together, Billy Madison style. Sure.
Definitely. You never know.
Every day is the first day of the rest of your life, Jigsaw. Let this guy sort it out, man. Like,
but how do you get chains in your face? And show me a pig person doing chloroform on him or something before you just show me this guy fucking anchored in chains.
Yep, because like there's no connection for the audience. I mean, but that's the thing, right? Because the point of these movies is just people are paying a ticket to watch flesh get ripped apart.
Yes,
that's all it is. So like,
you do that at home.
To their mind, right? Like the people making this movie, it doesn't matter who Troy is because he's flesh to be torn apart. Like Pinhead was involved.
Which and somebody could just say, well, what those Friday the 13th movies, isn't that? At the very least, those movies always start. You have some semblance of a jubilation of these kids are like excited to be alive, and then they're going out to the lake or whatever, and like, or if it's the nightmare movies, they have some sort of vague connection to the school or such and such. Like somewhat who they are, as opposed to like it's Jeff, it's Troy.
Well, because it was in like Jason movies, it's like all downtime. If it's not like now, it's all plot. Like you have to explain everything, backstory upon fucking backstory.
And even in these sequels of the Friday the 13th movies, where it's like previously on Jason, like they get that out of the way, and then a movie starts.
Mm-hmm.
This is like previously on Jigsaw, and it goes. It never fucking ends.
Well, you were saying, Steve, how 4 is half flashback to find out that Jigsaw was an engineer whose wife died. Their child died.
Yes.
But like this one is also half flashback when we find out what happened to Amanda.
Exactly. Just so much flashback, so much like filling in shit I don't care about. Like I would rather know what's going on with Lynn, but you can't because that's the twist. Because it's a twisted picture, you guys.
Oh,
and the picture is not only twisted; it's got to be twisty.
You're totally right, though. The fact that this movie thinks it would be interesting, like that, there were so many people that left the screening of the first Saw movie saying to themselves, my God, you know, I wonder how Jigsaw set up that whole first thing. I really wish we saw him setting up those bodies, prepping that whole thing. Wouldn't that be interesting? And the answer is a resounding absolutely not. You know, like the fact that like he's sitting there like, I'm putting on my makeup, putting on my gore. I'm getting in a fucking Halloween costume. Isn't this exciting information you definitely needed?
Amanda, did you bring the thermos? My thermos of coffee? I'm going to need it if I'm going to be here for 4 hours. Amanda, you didn't remember my thermos. That's just fucking great. Well, we're going to have to drive my ass back to get some coffee.
Oh, you know what? Keep this shit up, Amanda. We're going to play a game. You keep this shit up. A game about being forgetful about important details.
We're going to play a game called Listen. And all that's going to happen is I'm going to say stuff, and you, Amanda, are going to listen.
This would be so much better because I would understand.
Dude, bitchy Jigsaw.
Yeah. And you get to know the power dynamic between the both of them. I mean, that comes out kind of later in the film, but I would appreciate give me some fucking road signs here.
Part of it also seems to be a little bit of a like we're like bending to the will of the internet complaint department, right? Because it's like you can imagine someone on the internet being like, well, how did Jigsaw lay face down that whole time and Carrie Elway's, a doctor, didn't know that he was alive? So you have that thing in this movie where he injects himself with something, and Amanda, as if like he wouldn't have told her this already, like before they get to the warehouse, she's like, what is that you're putting in your arm? And he's like, well, I'm glad you asked, Amanda. This is going to slow my heart rate and make me pass out. And it's like... No one fucking cares, man. That was 2 movies ago.
They taught me this in engineering school.
I think people do care about that shit. It's just that, like, it makes for boring, fucking terrible movies.
Amanda, did you bring the kind bar? I specifically asked for a peanut butter and chocolate kind bar. I'm gonna be out for like 12 hours, Amanda.
Now
my blood sugar.
That wasn't very kind, Amanda. Now we are gonna have to play a game again.
Before you leave, just where's the thermostat? Because it's already a little chilly in here.
Hey, Amanda, I know you think you're being funny, but I asked for a kind bar, not a Luna bar. You know those are for girls, right?
I'm telling Amanda, one of these days, bam, zoom to the moon.
And by that, I mean I will build a rocket that has a lot of like latches on it and send you to the moon.
Oh, Buzz Aldrin, did you want to go to the moon? We're going to play a game.
Jigsaw in space, good idea.
Yeah.
For Spiral 2.
I mean, Steve, to your point, though, speaking of the sequels, I mean, the idea, right? Like, because even our beloved Friday the 13th franchise did something a little similar. You take it paranormal. You kill Jigsaw, and guess what happened, everybody? His fucking soul, for whatever reason, because it does not matter, this is a Twisted Pictures production, went into the fucking body of that dummy, and it's running around, and there are your sequels.
Yep. And it's scary, and you get Tobin Bell to do the voice, and it's excellent. Not excellent, but it's something.
How about this, too?
It's definitely talking, yes.
You take a big break between these movies, and then, like, you make a new Jigsaw movie, like, 5-10 years later, and the Jigsaw dummy is, like, at a thrift shop or something,
Yes, yep.
You can have a lot of Chucky-esque things with it as well.
Well,
sure.
How about instead of all that, how about just lots of miserable crap, which was the choice they went with? Just miserable crap nonstop.
Like, give me something fun. As much as I'm not a big Child's Play person, there's moments of you'll smile once in a while.
I mean, like even the Hellraiser movies. I haven't watched all of them. Like they at least like there's parts like people having sex, even like what I mean. Like that's an expression of like human existence. It's not misery.
It's classically grotesque. Like there's like genuinely like something like humorful about how disgusting it is.
Yes.
And this is just fucking miserable.
And what this movie also removes from it mostly, I guess in favor of giving real estate to these flashbacks or whatever, is that it takes out any of the police procedural shit. Like the first movie definitely has it, Danny Glover and everything. Second movie with Wahlberg and his partner Kerry there. And then this movie, like, that's all just totally gone. So there's never anyone on the outside knowing that anything is up. Like you never go back to the doctor's office and they're like, oh yeah, where did our doctor friend Lynn go? She hasn't been at work in days, or whatever it is. Like, once you are inside this fucking terrible world, there is no escape. Like, I never thought I would be yearning for the days of Donnie Wahlberg staring at a computer monitor and swearing at it. You know what I mean?
Well, even her coworkers being worried about her, it would establish a bigger world, and it'll be a world that it will contextualize that they're missing from that world, and it's like a big fucking deal. Here, it's just like, I don't know these people. They're just meatbags. They come, they go. I don't know what's going on.
Well, instead of that, it's just like the audiobook of fucking Jigsaw narrating Angus Macfadyen's fucking tragic life.
So,
just giving you the slices of it down the line.
So Kerry gets caught, and then she's in this trap, and Chris, because he's like, you know what, Kerry, you're dead inside. What the fuck does that mean? What do you? I have a very rich inner life. Yeah, I don't have a relationship right now, but I'm dating.
You're more used to dealing with corpses because that's what you do as a job. So therefore, that's your family, and you should be dead.
Kerry, I saw you at the Cheesecake Factory. You left a 20% tip. We all know the standard is now 25. Now you must die.
Oh, I wish he would be a good tipper. I highly doubt it.
I'm not smelling that from Jigsaw. Absolutely not.
Definitely not.
But so her trap is there's this vice on her chest, and there's a key to it in a cup full of acid.
It's boiling acid, dude. And so much of this, like, I just pictured the folks in the theater, being like, you could pour some of that acid out before dipping your whole fucking forearm in there. I mean, she's like elbow deep in this thing, and clearly the way that it is set up, because it's just hanging from chains, because Jigsaw loves chains, like, just tip some of that out. That's all. Your arms are totally free. You can do it.
Mm-hmm. Or just smack it from the bottom, get the key jumping a little bit.
Totally.
But it's I think that was sort of the thing that you said on the text chain today, Andrew. It struck me, like, because I'm always like, who could even enjoy these movies? I guess in a raucous crowd, in an actual theater where you hear people squirming and screaming and yelling back at it, it could kind of be fun. I could almost see it.
I can totally see it, but like, then that means these movies shouldn't be on HBO Max.
Yes, exactly.
I mean? Like, they should be like for theatrical presentation only, or like you have to prove to Lionsgate that you are going to be like having at least 10 friends over to watch this movie. Because like, I'm telling you, because like I'm sitting here today. I mean, first of all, I watched this with the sun up, had to put the room darkening curtains closed and everything. I just felt like such a fucking scumbag watching this movie.
Well, yeah. You need a room full of people rejecting the very premise at the same time. Everybody together being like, this is fucking bullshit. Look at this nonsense.
And then you're having kind of a good time.
Maybe then you're liking it.
You're totally right, because when she inevitably fails and gets cracked open like a Maryland crab, like... I'm just sitting there like, well, I feel so disgusting right now. There were no woohoos. There were no like, oh girl, look, like nothing. This woman was just broken open like there was a wooden mallet over fucking newspaper and Old Bay seasoning everywhere. And I was like, nah, man, nah, Darren Lynn Bousman, no.
Now, this is a weird thing to complain about because I hate the violence in these movies and stuff, but like, I don't know. This was kind of like, could have been bigger, break her open more. I don't know. It just, it didn't seem like enough to me.
Well, to me, I didn't get break her open. I got rip her breasts off, which felt weird to me. Am I the only one that got that?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, we didn't see any bare chest, I don't think.
No, yeah. Well, I just couldn't see what was even happening. It was so gray, and I was like,
that's kind of what I'm getting at. You see, like there's like a exoskeleton rib cage on top of hers, and it just pops open, and then you see some blood and a little window in like a little operation game going on in her by her intestines.
Yeah, that'd be great if just the little buzzer went off, the little operation buzzer.
Oh, your nose is glowing.
Oh, I left a wrench in you. That's how you're gonna die.
That would be like something like he was like, you know what? I'm gonna use the classic Parker Brothers game Operation as the inspiration for my newest game.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's Saw 3 : Operation.
Yes.
And he's like, during my cancer battle, I've gotten really into board games, and it started affecting my serial killer work.
Jeff, you're going to have to remove the funny bone.
Yeah, these movies need a fucking funny bone, man.
Can you remove your own funny bone without making your nose red?
Jigsaw, I don't have a wishbone. That's just a thing that fucking chickens have.
As if you look in the mirror, you'll see I have attached an actual red light bulb to your face.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Maybe that's the trap. He turns a person into the operation game, complete with all the electronic whatever, and then another person has to play the game, and then that's literally want to play a game.
Well, this is all us using our imagination with the premise, whereas they just looked at a Q&A and like, what happened to Amanda? You know, what happened to Jigsaw? Who knows? I mean, that's like a movie that will get us over the 80-minute line. I mean, you were talking about like Eric. I think you were talking about like a little bit more gore would be nice here. Like that's the thing about this movie. I don't think you're supposed to enjoy this at all. I think that's the point of the movie is you're not supposed to be enjoying this. And
so do you think this is like an ultimate cinematic trolling by Darren Lynn Bousman and Lee Wanell?
Like I don't even like. There's none of the deaths are really gory. Or like mess, like you could call the pig one is messy, but the whole point, like he doesn't die. Spoiler alert: the guy in it doesn't die. It's not like his death is. It's just the way he dies is messy. His death isn't messy.
It's not even that scary. It's not even that gory. I guess it's more like if you're afraid of like rusty objects and slime.
But yeah, that's something. But like, I just think the whole point is cruelty. The whole point is to watch people suffer. Yeah. That's the whole fucking point, is to enjoy watching people suffer. And if I guess you can base a movie around that.
Shit,
I think you're
I
a
could
piece
do that
of
at
shit,
home too.
But yeah, also
look in the mirror, look out the window.
So,
dude, of course, you could base a movie around suffering, Cabin. I fucking saw Green Book, man. Like,
sure.
Yes, you can make a movie that is intended to make your audience suffer through the entire thing. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, but at least Tony Pizza Hut had like some punchlines going on. Like, it tried to throw something in there.
I'll tell you, fucking Darren Lynn Bousman comes to my house, uses one of my glasses. I'm throwing it in the garbage. So we get Lynn, who is having sex with a man you assume is her partner in one way, shape, or form. But spoiler alert, it's actually some guy she's having an affair with.
And I gotta tell you, dude,
we open on a Cialis commercial pretty much. Like, no one's having a good time.
It is like, it's a Cialis commercial, definitely. It's also, though, like, the combo of these fucking nobodies and the bad acting.
Yeah.
All you need is penetration, and this is pornography.
Well, she was in Crash at the very least.
Oh.
And all that movie needed was penetration. You got some pornography there, too.
Absolutely.
Who was she in Crash? Do you
I'm
remember?
gonna look it up. I don't.
It looked like her career like fizzled out. Like it was kind of percolating there in the aughts, and I don't know. Maybe
I'm sure this movie didn't help.
Maybe she retired, and good for her.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say though, was it like the association with this franchise?
Wouldn't shock me. I mean, because like, and a lot of her credits are just like, what do you call it? There, like archive footage only in future Saw movies, which is not great.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. It's like you can only do this when you've gone to TV. Like this is mostly TV actors. Like Chris Rock went to TV with that piece of shit of Fargo season 4. So like now he's ready for a fucking Saw movie.
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see. We haven't seen Saw. I like Chris Rock is a dude where like I always want to give the benefit of the doubt to, but like all three of you told me how terrible that Fargo was, and I was like,
"Oh, I didn't see
it."
it.
All right. Well, just Chris and Steve then. And And I was like, So I don't know. Maybe like in a couple weeks or a week or whatever, like we'll start hearing some bad buzz about this, and I won't give it a shot. But I have every intention of at least giving it a shot because I just like Chris Rock so much.
Oh yeah, I mean, I hate myself enough that I will watch every Saw movie just to the bitter end, just to be able to complain about all of them with full knowledge.
Now, am I going to be able to follow Spiral if I have only seen the original trilogy?
Yes, Eric, you'll be fine.
Okay, good.
I mean, because I feel like this one has to be a copycat killer.
Something like that. I mean, I could not care less. But like at the end of the day, at least it has Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rock.
Right.
You know what makes more sense than a weird team of apprentices carrying on a cancer grampy's fucking weird murder wishes is copycat killers. They're everywhere.
Yep. Like if you're not going to go paranormal, which big mistake, like then you got to go the copycat route. This whole like the disciples of Jigsaw, dude, I wipe my ass with this idea.
Look, the following sucked. Like I know everybody like was really into it for 2 years, but like
oh yeah, I watched that pilot and immediately checked out.
Awful show. And like that, if that's the idea, fuck that.
Right? Who was in that? Kevin Bacon?
I think so. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, and then
Nailed it.
Oh, there's someone else in there that was kind of big.
James, fuck. The main villain is a guy.
Fuck.
Is it James Purefoy? I think is the cult leader,
Yep.
and Kevin Bacon is the cop or whatever.
Yep,
Snore. This is Lynn is played by hold on one second. Sorry, Bahar Soomekh, who is in Crash as the Persian store owner's daughter. Hey, you want to be in a big movie? Crash is a big movie. You want to be in a bigger movie? How about Saw 3?
But that's the real deal with the devil, though, dude. Because like this movie was huge. It was the highest grossing international Saw movie. So like, I don't like judge anyone for being in this movie. Like, I just feel like
it's a bad move.
Probably then winds up you're on the other side. Like it's not a great calling card. Like yeah, I was kind of a main character in one Saw movie, and then in like featured in a split second of the next 3, mainly in montages.
I mean, but if you're trying to get an episode of The Mentalist, it's probably just about right.
Yes, that's absolutely
making
true.
that Mentalist money. I like that. So she winds up. She's a doctor. She goes to work. And, you get like, I don't know, you kind of get a little bit. This is like the only time you actually see the outside world. Like you see her like save a kid's life, but like she's not super thrilled to do it. And this nurse chews her out like either be here or don't be here. Stop running around like a fucking zombie, man.
Isn't she stoned?
Is she stoned?
I
thought she was on pills. I didn't know what the pills were. I assumed that they were like depressants.
Yeah, because they say antidepressants, but she's acting a little stoned.
And it's like,
but I think what I think that is there is just bad acting, trying to portray like I'm having problems at home.
I'm on antidepressants. I'm acting weird.
Well, antidepressants were super scary back in the day, right? So there's that. Well,
that's one of the reasons Jigsaw goes after is like, oh, you're just popping all those pills, huh? Not paying attention to your husband, Missy.
I love that. That's why she's a villain, is because she's not in love with her husband enough or something. Maybe in this opening sequence where the kid is, as well. You're right that she's like detached and not there for it, but she saves the fucking kid's life.
Yeah.
The other doctors there didn't really know the right move to make. Maybe have that kid die, and I can understand why we got to get this woman into a Saw house.
See, you're totally right, dude. Like if she was like fucked up on pills or distracted due to problems at home and insisted on doing this medical maneuver, and then it didn't pan out and she killed that kid.
Yes, happens every day, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Reckless doctors tonight on 60 Minutes.
Mm-hmm. Hello there, Dr. House.
Oh, dude.
I'm to understand that you made hundreds of diagnoses while fucked up on pain pills. Well, now you're stuck in this fucking box.
I hear a little lilt in your voice. That probably means you have throat cancer. Okay, you probably had it for about 9 months, and then and I heard you had a little. You went up a little bit on the killing when you said killing there. That means that you're probably from southern Massachusetts. Okay, I'm just gonna have to kill you now.
Your test is to speak in a real American accent, not that weird flat whatever you're doing there.
Oh no, I'm in real trouble then. This is gonna be difficult for me, an American Dr. House.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Oh man, so yeah, she is fucking kidnapped from like the locker room of this hospital. Wakes up in Jigsaw's laboratory. Like the fucking real estate that this guy invested in, it's unbelievable.
He's got warehouses and warehouses.
And he brought a contractor in at some point and said,
I'm going to need you to do little white square tiles on every surface, everywhere.
Oh, there is a freelance contractor who has made a small fortune off of these death houses that that Jigsaw's been making. Like he probably works with the same guy, I imagine.
I mean, tile's cheap, but that's a lot of work. That's a lot of square footage.
Absolutely.
Is there some like you think like contractors code where like it's sort of like a like doctor patient confidentiality, attorney client privilege and so on, where like if you're a contractor and like you get hired to do a job and you're like, wait a second, is this guy hiring me to build a murder house? Fuck, I wish I could say something to police.
You know what?
Fuck.
I think they wouldn't, because they're all cutthroat mercenaries themselves.
I mean, I think you're allowed to you're allowed, you're not a therapist or whatever. You can go to the police if you think something funky is going on. But like smart people make them sign an NDA for like weird sex rooms. Like, listen, dude.
Yes.
You're gonna come in here. Yeah, you're gonna remodel my bedroom. By the way, here's an NDA because this closet's gonna open up into, you guessed it, a sex room.
Totally. Now, like you're sitting there with the blue plant and it's like, wait a second.
Now, Rick,
is this a sex dungeon?
Now, Rick, let me ask you something. Can you make a wall of spikes? Do I have to? Is that specialty? Is that something I gotta like get somebody else for?
Hey, Mr. Johansson, I'm here to do whatever you want, but I'm gonna say you say spikes, I gotta call the police. You say dildos, that's just between you and me.
Yeah, I can make you a wall of dildos.
Okay.
All right, you get my drift. It's a wall of dildos.
I'm reading you loud and clear, buddy.
This worked perfectly with my other client, Steven Seagal.
Can I get them very pointy dildos? Very pointy.
Certainly.
Have you ever seen the film Seven?
No. What I could do though is that you could screw them on and screw them off. Whatever you choose to replace these dildos with after I leave your domicile is totally between you and the Lord.
I like that. Thank you, Rick. Thank you so much. Okay, next time I make the murder house, I'm calling you first. Oh, I mean summer house. Summer house, Rick.
Sex house. You want to say sex house.
Thank you so much, Rick. I'll be calling you.
So she gets caught, and pretty much immediately she's put in this hilarious device that looks like it was devised by Rob Liefeld, which is this like collar that has all these shotgun shells on it. It looks like she does look like a lesser tier X-Man from the 1990s.
I was about to say, dude, you making comic artist references that the three of us don't understand?
Yes, I'm bringing. I got the outliers. Now I'm bringing everybody in.
Yeah,
see how that goes.
The Juggernaut's nephew sawed off.
Definitely, man.
By the way, there's a brief shot of another pig head person, I guess Shawnee Smith, at the hospital. You're wearing a pig head at the hospital to abduct someone. Not very conspicuous.
Pig head, Jerry. Pig head.
It was a pig
you're
man.
totally right. Is she going in there with like a fucking gym bag?
You have to, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Accidentally wore the cape on the way in, though. That was the problem.
At least a shaving kit type thing. You're going to need something.
And also, like, if you're going to do the theatrics of wearing a pig's head, lean into it. Maybe photograph more than 2 seconds of it.
Yep.
Well, I think also you just have to do the whole thing then. Like, get the boots where they lace up almost to your knees.
Yes.
Get the fucking, like, coal chamber t-shirt. Put the hoodie up a bit, Go
you
full
want
in.
to wear a t-shirt that's on the verge of becoming a rag because you're getting all that pig head juice on it and shit anyway.
Definitely.
Gloves with rainbow fingers.
Yeah.
So like she's fucking, brought into Jigsaw's laboratory here. There's some heinous line delivery where she's just, I think Shawnee Smith is like wheeling her in a wheelchair.
Yes.
And she's just looking around and she's going, it's almost like, if you guys recall Queen Latifah in Sphere being like, wow, it's beautiful, like repeatedly. This woman is like, what is this place? I mean, what is this place? It's so awful.
Is this a new junk room or is this the same junk room? There just seems to be junk everywhere.
Yeah, why is that? And why is everything so dirty?
Because I'm a filthy little pig.
Did he own this place for like 30 years and just like never dusted?
I guess
it has
so, man.
to be, dude.
But there's black mold, and you know what, Jigsaw? That's not good for your cancer.
It's
Absolutely
true.
not.
That affects older people more than anyone else, Jigsaw.
He tells her, like, you're going to have to keep me alive, Lynn, because my heart is hooked up to that stupid thing around your neck. And you know why? Because you were at the hospital. You took really good care of me. And you gave me a pamphlet that gave me all my options. But you kind of just gave me the pamphlet and walked away. You didn't, like, sit down and hold my hand.
You didn't offer to take me out to dinner to Applebee's, where I have demanded that fucking Kelly make sure that my riblets do not touch my French fries, as I have told her repeatedly. I don't like it when barbecue sauce touches my French fries. Anyway, you did none of that.
But now you got a fucking shotgun around your neck.
Now, Lynn, you were a great doctor and all, but you did not wipe my ass. And you should have wiped my ass.
Exactly. Like, he's just like, oh, there you go again. Because she's like, oh, what's your condition? She's like, diagnose me. He's like, diagnose me. And she's like, I can't, and he's like,
Yep.
I have terminal cancer. Can you help me? And she's like, I need to really look at your chart and blah, blah, blah. And there's this, that, and the other thing is like, there you go with the grad school jargon again, Lynn. And I'm like, dude, she is a fucking doctor. It's fine.
Why are you saying medical things to me when you could be doing kissy face? Well, excuse me, college girl.
Sorry I didn't have all daddy's money to go to doctor school. Sorry, Lynn.
I just had all of Daddy's money to go to engineering school, apparently. And I paid yes, it was a big loan, it helped me. But then I also waited tables and was able to pay my full tuition and buy 17 houses and a warehouse. Why can't you millennials get it together?
He has a line that I feel has been like the motto for some like fun person's funeral, where he just goes, death is a surprise party.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Dude, what are we even doing?
That is the stupidest line I've ever heard. Here's because that's not the end of that line. This is the full line. Death is a surprise party, unless, of course, you're already dead on the inside.
Oh,
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Also, this moral righteousness about people being dead on the inside. It's like, what are you? What is Shawnee Smith? What are you even fucking mumbling about?
Exactly.
Yep.
And so, basically she has to keep him alive, and she's like, I can't really do it. And there's I think a lot of what I have in my director's cut is more Lynn v. Amanda stuff.
Yes.
Kind of like, there's a lot of like them arguing, and
there's apparently a whole like knockdown drag out fight that they have.
There is. It starts with Jigsaw going, yeah, cat fight. No, no,
hey, Lynn, rear. You gals get into you could take these records and get the hell out of my store.
There you go.
But no, yes, there's a lot of that shit. But then we meet Jeff, who's just sitting around his house. He really tears into his youngest daughter there, and he's like, are you sleeping with toys from Dylan's room? Okay.
This guy is a fucking, Jeff is a piece of shit. I mean,
of course
it's like,
he is.
You got the backup kid right there, fella. Why don't you fucking, or like, you know what? Enjoy that. I don't know. why don't you have a relationship with your daughter? What is this fucking thing with just the son, and now that kid is getting neglected completely?
He walks into his daughter's room and he circles it like an SS fucking interrogator. Like he's about to put the fucking screws to her about this fucking little stuffed animal that she's just sleeping with. Like her fucking her little brother died.
Nope, but dude, he just will not accept it. And he's fucking pissed off because the movies lied to him. His kid died, and unlike his favorite movie, Stargate, no motherfuckers showed up to tell him he had to go on a cross-dimensional adventure.
Sad story. Because and he's just walking around with his handgun in the house, which is not a great move from Jeff here. So
he's drinking in the morning. Also, got to put that out there. And also,
that's good.
making a lot of
I was gonna
signs.
say, hold on, let's not be. I mean,
You know
that's
what?
just
Jeff.
what
might,
morning is it?
Jeff might be trying to do another round type of thing.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Quick question: is it Jeff's day off? So who are we to judge?
I guess so, but his kid hasn't even gone out to get the bus to go to school, man. That is early for that much whiskey.
But to Steve's point, Jeff doesn't seem to be in a rush to get to work or anywhere.
Yeah, Jeff isn't taking the day off. Jeff is taking life off. He's decided this is how it's going to be for the rest of it.
That's what I'm doing.
Dude, also, we're making a lot of Seinfeld references today, and I love it as always. But he is dressed like one of the fucking scumbags that Kramer hires to illegally install the cable for Jerry.
Yes, he does.
Because he's got this bathrobe on, which that guy doesn't have. But like, there is this like velour jumpsuit underneath the bathrobe. Like, this is quite a look for this guy.
I would love it if he was watching Stargate and like was calling up Roland Emmerich. And was just like, so was that takesies backsies machine? Was that real? Is there any way can you bring the dead back, Mr. Emmerich? Can you bring them back, Mr. Emmerich? Tell me, please.
How did you get this phone number?
I would instruct you to watch the rest of the film because, I mean, I don't really bring the sun back. You really go to a Egyptian planet on the other side of the galaxy.
I'll be honest. I started drinking and then I just started.
That's your problem.
I just started the movie right over from the beginning and I saw that you could bring back Boy back.
Quick question. Was it your day off by any chance?
Well, I mean, days are bleeding into each other at this point, dear
well,
sir.
then I'm no one to judge.
I just thank you, Mr. I love Godzilla.
Roland Emmerich directing a Saw movie would be a way for me to get interested in this franchise in any way. Like, give me something humongous. Like, we're making a Saw trap, I don't know, on Fifth Avenue or something. Like, it's
something where like you need to do some intense model work. Absolutely.
Yeah. Put Amanda Skullcracker on like the Statue of Liberty.
Oh man. Yep. You know what it'd be? That's the fucking poster. If they were ever like Saw Goes to New York.
Yes.
That's what the poster art would be.
Jigsaw takes Manhattan.
Yep, exactly, dude.
Which would be great because it would get us out of this fucking basement.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's filmed entirely in Toronto, but this is supposed to be California where all this nonsense is going down, right?
You got me.
Sure.
It's just
or are we doing one of those like
Anytown,
unnamed
USA.
city? Yeah. Oh, maybe that's it. Okay.
So he wakes up in a box, like the basically the box the Ark of the Covenant was in, basically.
Yep.
And he has to get out, just cracking around. He gets out, which is fun.
I do love it is like because he's like trying to kick it open. I don't think he understands that he's also like 8 feet off the ground and this crate falls. Like this guy, when he's like crumbling out of this crate, he looks like Mick Foley falling off the top turnbuckle. Like it is awesome.
Not surprisingly, Angus Macfadyen only met Darren Lynn Bousman the first day they started filming. So that's really
You know
that's
what?
good.
No rehearsals needed.
No. So what are we doing here? Are we doing is this a detective story? No, it's a Saw movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Your name, Jeff. You yell.
Okay, that's good. Now, which side should I be looking for? Because I know you're going to put them in post.
Your name, Jeff. You yell.
Where are the kangaroo ninjas? I need to know where the kangaroo ninjas are for sight line, eyesight.
Dude, if he was playing Jeff the way he portrayed Komodo, like
Better movie.
way better movie.
Absolutely.
If he was just this fucking like flamboyant maniac,
Yeah.
way better. That would actually be like a decent adversary to Jigsaw.
Yeah, the only way to do this is to like level it up all the way to like operatic level, like absolute insanity. People like, my son is dead.
So it's like, Jeff, welcome to my warehouse, and you're going to come face to face with all the people who have ever wronged you, Jeff, and you're gonna have to play Jigsaw's game. And the first trap is this woman who is the only witness to his son's murder. We get some. We're putting the porn and torture porn here, guys, because she's naked.
Yes. Yeah, she's naked. Her breasts are exposed. Now, okay, so she witnessed the car accident where Jeff's son passed away. Now, she didn't report it to the police. She didn't go to the trial or whatever. So how does Jigsaw know all this?
Hey, great question.
Even better question. Why is it her fucking problem when the dude was convicted and the judge gave him a light sentence?
Yeah.
Like, her testimony is meaningless at that point.
The whole accident thing is interesting because it's like, apparently the dude who actually committed the accident, accidentally hit this kid with his car, was devastated, and his life was also changed and ruined through the experience. And then we're just fucking going nuts for this shit, and Jeff wants his vengeance, and we're just talking about a inconsequent. I know a kid died, but inconsequential car crash. Like,
no, I mean,
shit.
You're totally right, because like, and I don't know why. I mean, I don't know what the logic thread is here, right? Because obviously the clear-cut way to do this is like, that guy was wasted behind the wheel, so he was drunk driving. Maybe then he tried to drive off and crashed into a tree. Like, you got to make it really bad, because otherwise it's just a fucking tragedy that happened. And like, this dude is seen like outside of his car crying on the curb, like clearly also affected by this. Like, yes, he didn't lose anybody, but like, it wasn't like he was fucked up and whatever.
Exactly.
So like,
and he was like he's a promising medical student or something. I guess it's just to set up cruelty porn. Like, this was a good person, watch him die.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, it's supposed to make you feel bad about what, like, it's a Haneke thing. Like, it really is supposed to make you feel bad about watching these people die. While also,
Haneke makes me feel good, Chris.
Well, it's very special movies for you, Aaron.
Dude, I'm watching Michael Haneke movies the same way I'm watching The Muppet Show, Cat.
Yeah,
come on.
just lovely.
Fills me with such joy watching the White Ribbon and whatnot. Yeah, come on.
There's a director.
Beat your family to death.
We've got baby Nazis. We've got killer kids.
But that is what that caliber of director could potentially handle this type of material way better.
Yeah, I had the key tonight. Boom, boom, boom.
I just want to, go to Jeff and quote fucking heavenly creatures to him and be like, dude, people die every day. Because they fucking do, dude. And it's just sad. And there's no way to punish it.
And that's
Sorry,
the
pal.
thing with Jigsaw, too. Because it's like, oh, my death. My poor little Grampy death. It's just like the fucking vanity. Eat shit, pig.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna do it with this lady and the judge and all that stuff, honestly, like, the Starbucks lady who dropped your first macchiato and had to make you a second one that made you late that day also should be here.
Do you remember that time you had to make 2 macchiatos? Oh, no, you don't, because that's literally every day and shit happens. And for some reason, I'm just fucking an insane person with a grudge for everything.
Because, like, actually, it reminds me of a little bit of that movie Unhinged, right?
Yes.
The great Unhinged.
Good movie.
But, like, it paints, you're at no point are you supposed to be like, fuck yeah, Russell Crowe, keep chasing this lady. Like, because, like, it's a stupid traffic thing, and, like, he takes it too far, et cetera, et cetera. It's insane. It's an amazing movie. But, like, you're never supposed to be on Crowe's side. You know, and it's never Crowe's dying of cancer, so it's kind of sad. Like, no, it's just like, oh, this dude's a fucking maniac, and she made the wrong traffic move to the wrong motherfucking guy, and now she's in real trouble.
I mean, the problem is they're like, we're gonna make our villains sympathetic because sympathetic villains are interesting, and that's true. But if you don't know how to do it, it comes off terrible.
So this lady's trap is she's totally naked in a freezing room, and there's like this like it's like, okay, Jeff, the key is right behind all these pipes, but do you have it in your heart to forgive this lady who just walked out on you and your dead son? And it's like, and like he immediately sees how horrible it is, but then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, lady, I can't help you. It's mildly uncomfortable to get the key. Because it's not even like there's spikes or anything. It's really just like kind of out of the way, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, 'cause here's the thing is like he does it with this lady. He does it with the judge, definitely. And yeah, he kind of actually does it with the third guy, too. It's like this thing where he listens to the Jigsaw tape.
Yes.
So Jigsaw informs the audience of this person's role in the hit and run and everything like that. And then this Jeff, this fucking skin sack that talks, just has to stand there and he's like deliberating. Like he spends like precious minutes like, well, you know, Jigsaw's kind of right. You did fuck me over by driving away. Ah, geez, I don't know. And then cut to like the requisite close-up of the person being challenged in the Saw film, just screaming because they're so frustrated because they don't know what to do. Ah, Jeff!
Oh, my Jeff brain, I'm thinking.
That's what it is.
Yes.
And then after all of that, he's like, yeah, all right, I'll reach behind this pipe, fine.
Oh, no, you're dead already. Oh, that's sad.
So they're trying to make Jeff sympathetic that he eventually comes to the better
Yes.
moral conclusion.
Every time it's too late.
Which is like, it gets fucking ridiculous. Come on, Jeff.
Get your shit together, Jeff.
Yeah, be better written, Jeff.
And I don't know where this piece of information was found. I don't know if this was mentioned in a commentary, an interview, or whatever. But the IMDb trivia section felt it very important to inform everybody that this actress who's chained up nude here was indeed wearing a merkin.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you
what?
so much.
A pube wig.
Oh, I did not know that the name of that. That's great.
Because she is fully frontally nude, so I guess
Yeah.
that was to sort of give her some kind of, you know, coverage down there.
Yeah. It's just, you know, I don't need to come across them tidbits on IMDb.
No, I agree. I agree.
Look, lady, we would love to, like, you know, you put clothes on you and all, but like we're on a budget here, you know. It's only $10 million. We got to bring them in for what they want.
She just freezes to death. It's kind of, you know.
This is like ice water, but I guess it's more than that because it actually freezes you to death.
Well, I mean, it's a freezing
like
room to begin with, I think is the idea.
Yeah, and it's like a bunch of things, like kind of like a car wash or like spraying, or it's like or like a self tanning booth or something.
At the car wash, yeah.
You're gonna freeze to death,
dude. Now that is an idea for Jigsaw, an entire car wash that tortures you, like it just like traps you in your car.
That almost sounds fun, Eric.
I mean,
that sounds like a fun movie I'd like to watch. Murder
I would
car
love
wash?
to watch, like a haunted car wash, a murder car, anything where like the car wash is like the scene of the horror. Totally,
and it's such a great place to set something like that because guess what? A lot of soap and water right there. You clean up the mess. No one's the wiser.
Well, that's kind of something though that this movie never kind of gets at, which is like something like The Strangers, right? Where it's like it's a relatable place that a movie happens, and that's what makes it sort of scary. Like you kind of want to do something where it's like the car wash, where it's like, oh no, I'm gonna think twice about this movie when I'm in my own. The next time I'm at the car wash, I'm like, oh shit, remember Saw 3? Like it's not like, oh, every time I'm in a fucking abandoned crack warehouse, I'm gonna think about Saw 3.
Oh yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've never thought about that with those movies, but you're totally right. It's like, you know, Psycho made the shower scary. This movie makes dilapidated warehouses scary, and I'll find myself in a shower every morning. I'll never find myself in a dilapidated warehouse.
That overgrown shed in the woods, like a mile out from your property. Yeah, don't you get nostalgic for Saw 3?
The closest comparison I could think of, like of what is contemporary scary, like in terms of evil warehouse type of setting. I mean, the torture experiments in the Middle East by the U.S. military, co-current to this franchise, is probably the closest relatable thing to the Saw movie.
I was actually kind of curious about that a little bit, just because like this movie, it really pushes on Jeff needs to forgive and vengeance doesn't get anything. I'm like, is this sort of an Iraq war question mark situation? I'm definitely giving it too much credit.
No, it's not doing anything. It's just bad. It's bad and stupid.
Unless you are talking to the people who made this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, to some degree, I think that is actually true, Steve, in some way. If you look at like the course of horror, you know, and what like the rise of torture porn, I do think is kind of like
it has to be hand in hand. Yes, because we were doing it and we have to like sort of sit with it. You know, this is what we're doing right now in the world, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can make that argument. I don't think you can continue making that argument into like the third Saw movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I definitely think 2, maybe. I don't know. Maybe now I'm out on a limb here myself. But
I can see it being reflective of the times, but the Iraq War specifically and torture specifically, the's no like reference to.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's more what I feel, Cabin. You're articulating it better. It's just a reflection of. It's not necessarily a commentary on.
If I am elected president, I will close down Jigsaw's murder warehouse. That is number 1 on my list of things to do.
Listen, vote for me 2016 because I'm reopening every single Jigsaw murder warehouse in every state.
No need to do it because I never fucking closed it. Kept it open. No problem.
Thanks to me, everyone. Thank you.
No, it's a bipartisan issue. Want to keep them? Want to keep it open? Want to keep the Republicans happy with the murder house?
Folks, this is America. This is America, folks, and we as Americans, we got to keep those warehouses open. You got to look at it. You got to look at it this way, everybody. We're Americans, and if we don't have those warehouses open, someone could swoop right in, maybe through Delaware on a train or something, and the next thing you know, we're not Americans anymore. Folks, we got to be warehouse Americans.
Oh, hi there. Yeah, that's a Bush here. Doing some painting here, doing some paintings here. I'm here to give the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Jigsaw. He's been an inspiration to me over the years. He's come to every barbecue I've ever come with fresh meat for me to grill up for all my guests. I love him so much.
While it might be true that W gave the Jigsaw the medal, I am the only president that gave it to Jigsaw's dog. Little known, Jigsaw had a dog.
Oh, that guy's a jerk. You don't say Jigsaw by name, man. That's the problem.
Yeah, Trump doesn't give anybody like any presidential medal of freedom. He just goes on like a 2-hour praise-a-thon for the cult from Midsommar. Just like he heard a story somebody said. He's like, I love that cult. They have the beautiful frocks. The beautiful frocks they have.
Look. All I'm saying is, nobody uses sledgehammers like that anymore, okay? You got to bring a sledgehammer back.
And I do think that every old person should be tossed off a cliff or jump on their own accord, unless, of course, they vote Republican and in person.
So meanwhile, I don't even know. Like the next thing is the pig room, which rules. No, it doesn't. But it certainly is memorable. I guess.
Yes, that's it.
This is the most double dare this franchise ever gets. Doesn't
Big time, dude. This is Saw goes to Slop City.
They're going to pull out a fucking thing from a sloppy nose or something.
Yeah.
You have to look up this huge nose, sift through all the boogers, and find the key.
Oh, there's an enormous peanut butter sandwich, Jeff. Are you going to be able to find the flag in there?
Hey, Jeff, you got to take this giant toothbrush and brush off all the gunk on the teeth in this huge mouth.
It would be way more interesting if Jigsaw did have that big of sets for that elaborate of schemes as the set of Double Dare.
Oh, yes.
By the way, Paramount Plus, I know you're listening. Reboot Double Dare, hosted by Tobin Bell. Every episode starts with "Want to play a game?" $1 million idea.
Other $1 million idea, just give me a parody for the poster of Midsommar, but it says Mark Samars on it. it's just fun to look at. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, sure.
I think that'd be fun to look at.
Yeah, I also want $1 million if anyone's listening.
The food here is great.
But it's so amazing because it's like this judge is in a vat of nothing, and Jeff has to figure out whether or not he's going, because the judge only gave this guy 5 months, and maybe Jeff, carceral punishment isn't exactly the answer ever. How about
Seriously,
that? Maybe that's
why
a message to learn.
Being incarcerated for having an accidental car accident. Apparently, it seems like it was a light sentence because this guy was just a normal dude that wasn't fucked up, that wasn't trying to run over kids that day.
And here's a better question, Jeff, Father of the Year.
Yeah.
Why was your child on a tricycle in the middle of the street?
Bingo.
Who's doing in the middle of the road, huh?
But totally, Jeff is a fucking piece of shit. Fuck you, man. Some of these fathers, by the way, whew, they get these fucking egos.
Oh, sure. Where was Jeff? Like, you've never gone and jerked off in the woods while your kid was playing on the fucking swing set, okay? Like, I didn't suffer tragedy. Shit.
Come on, man. Everybody's got to jerk off in the forest. This is America. That's what we do. We jerk off in the woods all the time.
Here's my thing with Jeff. If I was in his position and I'm going through all these fucking... I've getting into these rooms. The smell alone is making me have to leave as soon as possible.
Thank you.
I would have
Thank you.
to, like, immediately I have to give forgiveness. Yes, absolutely, you're forgiven. I don't care if you want to kill another one of my kids. I hate my fucking daughter. Why don't you go? Because I got to get out of here because the fucking rotten pigs are in my nostrils.
Because we should say what the trap is, this judge is in a big jar, essentially, and then next to him is a meat processing thing where rotten pigs will get juiced, and the juice will then drown the judge in pig slop.
Okay.
Did I effectively summarize that? Okay.
Yes.
I think so.
Or you could press the button on the incinerator and burn up your little boy's old little teddy bears, and then get the key.
Dude, I would be so fucking... He does eventually... The judge actually survives. He's one of the only people in this that survives his trap. And then I would be like, yo, dude, so I just swallowed like fucking 3 gallons of pig slop and shit because you didn't want to fucking... I'll buy you a fucking Gumby toy, dude. What do you need? How much money is it going to cost? How many fucking teddy bears do you need, Jeff?
No, but that was my kid's Gumby. It had his boogers on it.
Dude, there is a fucking Jigsaw line to beat the band in this audio tape where he's saying like, oh, you might recognize this guy as the judge who gave the light sentence of 6 months to your son's murderer. And then he goes something like, now you have the power to sentence him straight to hell. God damn it.
That definitely sounds like someone that's being altruistic with his fucking saw traps. He's just trying to help you get your life together.
Well, let me get this straight. You need 57 rotten pig carcasses by tomorrow?
Well, I got fresh pig carcasses.
Yeah, I could get them in ice. I can get you there fucking 1 week. But tomorrow, rotten pig carcasses? That's a lot, buddy.
All right, give me the fresh pigs. We'll wait a month. I'll just wait a month to kidnap Jeff.
Okay, I'll put the order through anyway. Anyway, your credit card information.
Hello, Forged in Fire. Do you have any of those pig carcasses that you cut through with swords? Like that are just like laying out?
Wait a second. They're using pig carcasses in
Absolutely.
that show?
It's either the ballistic dummy, which is my personal favorite.
Yeah.
But then
because you're not a fucking maniac.
Let's waste some food. You know what? That animal grew up, lived, and let's use its soul to test a hillbilly's fucking knife on.
No, I agree. It's like they'll do that. They'll do like ram carcasses sometimes.
These fucking weirdos, dude. Every last person associated with that show.
You know they're just juicing all those animals and flushing them down the toilet afterwards too. It's not like anyone's eating that thing.
Well, that's my question. It's like, dude, yeah, you better fucking put that out. And, I think they film in Brooklyn. You could put that, send that to the local smokehouse.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's really frustrating to hear that. God damn that show.
But so these are rotten pig carcasses. They're juicing all over this dude, and Jeff does find it in his heart. Also, not to be an asshole, Jeff, the only one that you find in your heart to forgive is the old white guy, huh? Odd.
Yep.
Strange.
Yeah.
Strange, Jeff.
Yeah.
As Twitter would say, you're telling on yourself, Jeff, by saving that old white guy.
The other Jeff thing that keeps happening, and it happens here, and it happens again, and it happened in the last scene. Like, this dude letting these doors close behind him.
Yeah.
Like, it happened the first time, Jeff. When you open that second door, why don't you prop something up next to it, okay? Like, and every time it happens, the actor is the same, like, wait, the door? Like, no shit.
The one benefit of being constantly, surrounded by garbage and filth is that there's garbage to prop open a door with.
Yeah, that's true.
Just put it right in the fucking way. It's not that hard.
How are these our protagonists? How are these the people that we're talking about? Jeff.
Because these movies don't think that they need to have that stuff. Again, it's just like, let's get this motherfucker from A to B so he can see someone torn to shreds at B, and then he gets to C and has some motherfucker drown in pig guts. Like, it's just to facilitate these killings. There's no protagonist.
Shouldn't be a movie.
It absolutely shouldn't. But in this one, you also get the benefit of watching like filthy surgery on a budget with fucking Jigsaw and Lynn. Because the whole thing is like, she's like, no, he has to go to a fucking hospital. This is insane. He's got it. He's bleeding out. His brain is bleeding. And Amanda's like, no, I watched a bunch of 90-day surgeries, and I know that you could do it here. You could do it here. So we're just going to get something from Home Depot, and then we're going to figure this out.
All you have here in the way of medicine is Flintstones chewable vitamins, birth control pills, and Stacker 2. Okay, so I don't know what we're going to be able to do here.
I also have this Gatorade.
There's electrolytes. That's medicine. I mean, she plays this character like the attitude, the tone of voice, like it just has these echoes of like an ignorant douchebag MAGA chud, and like, man, it's so frustrating to watch this character talk and walk around. Like, it fucking sucks. It's just like, oh yeah, we need to go to your fucking liberal hospital for surgery. Okay.
She's got Q. If that's the thing, is if she wasn't picked up by Jigsaw, QAnon was just right around the door, right around the
door.
Yep. I love, because like this is the Amanda bit, the Amanda section where we learn her situation. And I guess what, dude, being a heroin addict is way better than being a murderer. That's
absolutely.
Like 10 times, 10 out of 10. You give me two options: be addicted to heroin or murder a lot of people. I will take the heroin every single time.
Why is the heroin like, makes you evil, makes you, you know what I mean? Like, come on, we have passed the war on drugs already. Shut the fuck up. They're regular people that got high before. Oh my god.
The insertion of the detail that this character was a heroin addict, and that makes her like this fucking wretch that needed to be saved. Like, it's stunning, because it's like, did fucking Ronald Reagan write this screenplay? Like, what are you doing? It's 2006, and you're stigmatizing a heroin addict. Like, come on, make her a fucking child molester or something.
It would have had to been Nancy. I don't think Ronald was up for writing at that point. I don't think he remembered where his jelly beans were at that point.
No, Ron wrote it, but he just forgot to make it good. That's his problem.
Yeah.
Just like all of his policies.
But yeah, I mean, look, the heroin addict thing is supposed to be like, oh wow, that's so Jigsaw, I guess, helped that one woman out. Like, no, he didn't. Like, she just, you know what? She would have fucking found rehab at some point and not murdered a bunch of people.
Yeah,
or she would have fucking tragically OD'd and not murdered a bunch of people.
Or she would have just kept doing heroin and had a good time.
Exactly. Maybe she fucking knows the balance and then everything's fine. Shut the fuck up, movie.
It's just so moralistic. I mean, that which drives me nuts about this movie, and especially the argument we have at the end about who the real villain is. Like, you're the real villain, movie. Shut up.
Yeah.
So like basically you kind of watch a little bit of Amanda Begins here, and you do, this is what we talked about this before, like you see that she was part of the first Saw movie. She set everything up for him.
Okay, Amanda, first thing, you gotta go get the blue poppy. It grows on one specific hill.
You can take my private jet to Asia.
And you know, it's kind of amazing. I love that there's one part of the, like a little bit sooner around here, is she has this nightmare about Adam, Lee Wanell's character. Oh my God. I'm like, yeah, murdering people will probably give you nightmares. Sorry. That and candy before dinner.
And here's the thing, right? If you want to like take that little character moment then and thread it through the rest of the movie so that like those things keep haunting her, we keep seeing that imagery, right? And then she like turns on Jigsaw, that's at least a thing.
Yes.
That's a character development a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
for fucking bid.
But like as it is, like it's all just filler. It's all to just answer plot hole complaints from Reddit.
Yeah.
From two.
How did he fucking get on his face? How did Lee Wanell get in the bathtub? Who farted? All these questions and more will be answered in Saw 3 flashbacks.
And it's kind of great because like, yeah, so her thing is like, I guess Jigsaw was like, all right, that was a really big Saw movie I just did. I'm going to conk out for some Z's. Also, what with the brain cancer? And while he's sleeping, she decides, I guess, to mercy kill Adam, right? That's what this is? Or
Sure.
is this not in your movie? I'm curious.
Wait.
It's no. I mean, what we saw at least was like she tries to do it and like she puts the bag over his head.
Yes, okay.
He hits his face on the pipe and he's bleeding or whatever. But Jigsaw has a line. It's a blink and you miss it where he says like, he basically says like, you went and you tried to do that and then you didn't and I had to finish the job. So he makes it sound at least like he came in, saw that she had like tried to do it, Adam was still alive, and then Jigsaw finished the job.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you had that line in yours.
No,
but
yeah,
that's
I think
the
I did.
way.
Yeah, I think I just missed that because it's like such a small whatever.
Yeah, it's Saw 3, Steve. That's the problem.
Are we done?
No, sadly not. But so there's that, and then later on, she kind of tries to do the same thing with with Donnie Wahlberg. I wish to Mark Wahlberg with Donnie Wahlberg. Yeah. And this is when they get into this huge fight, and the B word is flying, and we're having a blast on here on Saw 3.
It's almost funny as watching Donnie Wahlberg try to walk on his busted leg, and his whole body falls down.
Yeah, that was rough, dude. Having sprained my foot a few months ago in quarantine and dealing with that, it was giving me some flashbacks. It wasn't obviously as bad as what Donnie Wahlberg's dealing with here, but any fucking foot trauma, forget
Ankle trauma in general will just send me. I'll get the shiver down my spine whenever I see something there. The thing. Do you think Donnie Wahlberg has a rider that in his contract that's like, I get to say bitch at least 7 times
Yes,
in each project. Each project I'm involved in, including Blue Bloods.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the way he says it so many times in this movie, because it's just like when he's beating her up, he's saying it.
Yep.
After she gets the upper hand and she's walking away, he's like, "You're nothing, bitch. You're nothing, bitch." And like, Donnie, we called cut 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, and also none of that was in the script.
What? And I mean, this is where it's like vague what happens to him. Like she just kind of leaves him, and then what you find out in the third movie is that another Jigsaw apprentice has him in a different cell. Because he comes back and finally
third sequel, fourth movie.
He bites it in the fourth movie finally.
Okay, you know what? I thought he bought it in the second movie, and that would have been perfectly fine.
Yep,
it's a long saga of Mr. Eric Matthews.
There is a great thing though when he's yelling at her. Like one of the things I guess he thinks is the ultimate slam to this serial killer's apprentice is he's like, "You're not even fucking Jigsaw. You think you're fucking Jigsaw? You're not fucking Jigsaw. You're nothing."
He's speaking for like half of the audience who is so pissed off that their hero is dying on the fucking cancer table.
I like how that line is also a compliment to Jigsaw.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jigsaw. At least say what you want about Jigsaw, but he was pretty good at it.
I mean, Jigsaw was so awesome. I mean, he killed like 17 kids and a bunch of teenagers. Like, oh man, he was so awesome. You're nothing. You're nothing.
Yeah, it was almost an honor to die by his hand, but Amanda.
I'm just.
Well, actually,
You wouldn't think a pig slop. Hey, you wouldn't think a fucking pig slop.
it's kind of funny because Donnie is a little bit right, because what we learn at the end of this movie, when Jigsaw is like, this was actually a test for you, Amanda, blah, blah, blah. The whole thing is he starts this off with like, a couple of the traps that I had you set yourself that you came up with, they kind of fucking sucked. Because he basically says like for our previous detective that gets murdered, Kerry, is that her name?
Yes.
From part 2, and that guy Trey or whatever.
Troy.
He basically says that like her 2 traps weren't beatable. Like
Yes.
she didn't give them a viable out, and it's like that's a Jigsaw no.
Which is like, and he's like,
I despise murderers because I never murdered anybody. Come on, folks. Who have I murdered really?
and it's like, you know what, dude? Fuck you.
I'm a maimer. I just maim people and put them in positions where they're either going to commit suicide or horribly maim themselves even further. And you know what? That's not murder where I come from.
Listen, hate the game, don't hate the player.
Exactly.
Last I checked, this is a nation of laws.
Yeah, I mean, so while
Reddit,
those
am I the asshole? I fucking put someone I put someone in a vice that was going to rip their head off and put a key 3 inches away from it. Does that make me the asshole here or what?
Amanda, I tried your prototype of the pig slop bin that we've been trying, and just a bunch of bones and flesh came at the man's face. No slop, nothing to drown in. This is just subpar material, Amanda.
More watery pig.
Weren't you taking notes in class? I said they have to be rotting pig carcasses, not frozen pig carcasses, you fucking idiot.
I put some random lady in that ice machine you made me, and she got hot. She actually got hotter. Can you believe that?
While she is reminiscing, the other big thing that's going on is Jigsaw's brain is like pushing up against his skull, and that's fucking with his motor function and his speech and whatever.
I'm just too fucking smart for this skull.
So
That's a shirt I want.
our doctor Lynn.
You know what? Just make him like make him RoboCop 2's Kane. Just take out Jigsaw's brain, put it into some fucking saw monster.
That's kind of cool.
Go. Again, it's just as good as having him possess the puppet.
Yeah, either or.
But so like our doctor pseudo protagonist Lynn has to like do this brain surgery, skull surgery, and like this is the most grotesque part of the film. This is like a 10-minute scene. You're just watching Jigsaw get brain surgery. It's quite something.
It takes a long time. Apparently, this was something. The MPAA said it was so realistic looking they couldn't really fault it from a gore standpoint because it's like essentially, what do you want to call it there? It's like what you'd see in a documentary on a brain surgery. It's like, okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
but a ding dong is NC-17. Got it. That's it.
That's
NC-17.
right. That's right. Because we still live in a puritanical society founded by weirdos that came across on a boat well before my lineage ever washed up on these rotten shores.
But you think like if they showed like so like Steve said, if there's a ding dong that's NC-17, this open brain surgery here, that's just your R rating. What if like a fucking big juicy cock was getting brain surgery? Like what do you think that rating would be?
That would be X. That's just too much. That's
Yeah.
They're two great flavors together at last, don't get me wrong, but I think it's too much for society.
Yeah, send that shit over to Fort Detrick, Maryland.
But yeah, so and it takes forever. There's some sawing into his skull. We're really doing it. And like Amanda, it's kind of hilarious because Amanda gets jealous because, and I mean, like, of course, typical woman, right, guys? She's getting jealous because like her man is talking to this brain surgeon.
Dude, and it starts right here because like he starts having these hallucinations thinking he's seeing his wife. So in the fantasy, he's like, I love you. And then like you cut back to the room and it's like just this doctor and he's like, I love you. And then you see Amanda just like fucking stewing in the corner.
Amanda, do not start with me, all right?
Well, somebody liked their brain surgeon quite a bit.
I was in the middle of surgery, Amanda. You can't hold that back on me. Do not do that again.
I love you so much. What do you think we should make for dinner tonight? I'm going to pick up some tomatoes and maybe some romaine lettuce, and maybe we'll grill up some chicken. And, oh, good, look at that dog. That looks like a dog that we're maybe... I'm sorry, I'm just remembering my wife.
Well, if we're not eating that, what do you want for dinner? Oh, well, that doesn't help. Well, what are we going to eat?
Well, if you wanted to give him a dollar bill, you should have given him a dollar bill. I don't know why I have to give him a dollar bill.
Well, that woman we abducted and forced you to do brain surgery sure was pretty, wasn't she? She was really pretty.
Yeah, wow. What a looker there, huh? Could get a good look at our hostage there, did you? Was that fun? Was that fun for you?
Amanda, do not. She's the best brain surgeon. I didn't even look at her. Amanda!
I told you I was in the middle of one of my wife dreams. I have them all the time.
Oh, yeah, another wife dream. Great.
Thought we were over this already.
By the way, she's got kind of, Shawnee Smith in this, her and Jigsaw, this relationship very much kind of mirroring Becker in some ways.
Oh, really? Becker Bob.
Becker Bob. Because Becker, respected doctor, she obviously respects his opinion very much. And, I don't think they ever got into a physical relationship. I don't even know if these two do. But it's kind of that when an evil person finds a protege, it's the same relationship in this and in Becker.
Yeah, but when Ted Danson wanted to play a game, at the end of it, all you did was come.
Yeah, dude, man, every explosive ending to Becker was something else. They made Bob watch.
Oh. Bob just getting cucked in that diner.
Yeah.
I wish I knew who Bob was.
He's a guy on Becker.
God, I pieced that part together.
He's a guy on Becker, man.
Is Bob the?
I assumed he was a regular on Becker.
He's a regular on Becker.
Is Bob the dude played by Alex Desire from Hepcat, the guy from PCU?
Is he short?
I don't believe so.
No.
African American gentleman.
No, that's another fella.
Okay.
Bob is a short white guy. I mean, he's an actor that you might recognize, but I'm not going to say his name now because he's Bob on Becker to me.
And again, Steve, Bob is not in Grace Under Fire. He is in Becker.
Okay, got it.
He's a character from Becker.
Actually, so I looked at. So I'll say it, Eric, because it's he played a great character. Severio Guerra is the actor. He played fucking Mocha Joe on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes, totally. Now, I also want to let listeners at home know that I've watched all of Becker because I was paid to when I worked at CBS many moons ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All 129 episodes?
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
and I'll tell you this. This is some surprising information. I did not know that Becker lived to see 9/11. That show ran until 2004.
Was there a Becker?
Responder.
Was a Becker 9/11 episode?
There must have been. You had to. Becker couldn't hold his tongue during those times.
I don't remember that, but
oh wow, Terry Farrell from DS9 was a regular.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. No, my favorite part of Becker was, is everyone still listening? My favorite part of Becker was the way they would double the Bronx by using footage of Astoria, Queens, which is where I lived at the time. So it was very thrilling to see
interesting
shit like 2 blocks down in Becker.
Unbelievable. Oh, Nancy Travis. That's too bad, Becker.
So whatever, they're yelling at each other, and at this point, I think earlier in the movie there was the cat fight in my version, but it kind of comes to nothing.
Is that when she pulls the piece on her? Is there more of a fight there?
I think that the fight is just sort of nothing. The saddest quote, by the way, was Shawnee Smith to someone was like, "I can't wait to be nominated for best fight on the MTV Movie Awards." For me and the lady that plays Lynn, and it's like that didn't even happen. Imagine wanting to be nominated for an MTV Movie Award and then failing even at that.
Well, but dude, it's not just that; it's wanting that and navigating two paths from the same film with which you could get that nomination. Because it wasn't only the fight with her; she said also the fight with Donnie Wahlberg.
Yes,
so she's like, I have to have this nomination in the bag. Two excellent fights in the same film. Here I come, MTV Movie Awards.
And fucking Tobin Bell lost. He was best villain at the MTV Movie Awards that year.
He was nominated, right?
He was nominated. He lost to fucking Jack Nicholson in The Departed.
Well, good. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I say good.
Did Nicholson show up to collect the Moon Man?
I do not know. I don't know that.
It's the only time Jack Nicholson and Tobin Bell were ever in the same fucking room.
Listen, I don't know where I am. Goodbye.
Hey, didn't you sell me Coke once? Oh, man.
So, like,
Becker,
man.
we should
classic show. You might find late night on syndication, although I don't think they air it anymore, but back in the late aughts, late night on television after everything else is pretty much over. Sometimes you could catch an episode of Becker on a syndicated station.
It's like finding a fucking Sasquatch in the woods, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're creeping back to Beck Pod, which this
I
show
can't
devolves into.
Jeff comes upon finally his son's murderer. I wouldn't use that word, but the movie does. The man who killed his son, and he's in the worst trap of. By the way, it's him and the judge now, and the judge is like really being like, "Hey, man, you got to chill out, Jeff. You are riding a little too hard. Like, even if I sentenced your son's murderer, yada yada, they wouldn't bring him back, etc., etc." Oh, in the next room, there's your son's murderer. And it's this thing where twisty arms and twisty legs and eventually twisty heads kind of a thing.
Yep.
I love that in the tape for this, there's a couple of great details. First of all, Jigsaw continuing his hilarious use of monosyllabic first names. He's like, "Hey, Jeff, welcome to your third challenge. Here is Tim, the guy who murdered your son." And I'm like, come on, Jeff and Tim? Jesus Christ.
Is he like Frank Costanza? I just want everyone to wear name tags. Hello, Joe. How you doing, Jeff?
Tim, why did you kill that kid? And then also the other thing in the tape, though, he's like, "And also, Jeff, I might just point out here, I think this is my favorite of all of my contraptions." That's right. It's the rack.
Oh yeah, director's commentary on this contraption. Yeah, this was kind of my favorite. Me and Amanda had a lot of fun putting this one together.
I carved our initials on the side of it, just for the memories.
A plus J and a heart. I do like. I think it's a little weird and not the best look for a movie like this to have this
your only black character be tortured and killed on camera.
Yeah, well, Lyric Bent is in it for like a hot second, to be fair.
Oh, right. But Lyric Bent is like the cop who.
But I mean, like,
he was like supposed to be bigger in this movie, but then wasn't because he was making something else. Good for him.
Like, make the if you want to make one of these three people in your traps, is make him the judge. You know what I mean? Black judge, totally fine. It's just weird that this guy's like half naked and we're ripping him apart. Like he's not even human.
We get really into this pretty quick. Like his bones start shooting out of his legs when the rack twists his arms and legs to positions. You can't twist them, folks.
And not for nothing. I mean, like, he went in to try to save that lady. He saved the judge. He gives up on this dude like instantly.
Well, there's this shotgun in a box. There's a key dangling.
This fucking Daffy Duck trap.
And it's like, will you take a bullet for the man who killed your son or whatever? And he just like, Jeff, by the way, I'm talking about Jeff now. Jeff. He takes the key off the string, pretty smart. But then the gun goes off anyway. But by that time, his arm has moved out of the box and it shoots the judge in the head. And that's the end of the judge character.
Yep. I mean, you got to be like, hey, judge, man, I'm about to like fiddle with this thing. Maybe don't stand right in front of it.
Like, hey, man, give you a wide berth here. Like, it's.
The judge was like at the rack trying to like, oh, no, let me put that back. Let me try to twist
the
that
judge
back
is
and
trying more than this fucking Jeff guy
Absolutely.
is. Exactly.
Because the judge is a level-headed, normal, I don't know, he's probably a piece of shit too. But the fact that, this guy probably didn't deserve life in jail for whatever automotive accident this is. I would have loved to even fucking seen the accident.
That'd be something.
Like, start the movie with that.
Don't
start with Donnie Wahlberg yelling fucking bitch.
Are there cars in these movies? Is anyone driving in a car?
Is a car a warehouse? Because then if not, then no. The answer is it's only warehouses.
Cars are pretty basic for movies, fellas.
Warehouses.
Us here on We Hate Movies asking the hard-hitting questions. Is a car a warehouse?
But so like that's it. Jeff makes it through his third trap alone. The judge is dead. Tim is dead. And
he does keep yelling like, I forgive him, like as if that's going to do anything.
Fat load of good to my fucking racked corpse.
Almost kind of funny. Jeff with this key trying to find, like, where the fuck do I put it in? The rack. And by the time he's up there trying to scramble, the dude's head has been twisted around completely on his body.
That's the other thing too, Jigsaw. You want to, I'm not a murderer. It's like, then make these traps a little easier. You know what I mean? Like if it's really about the experience of having to make these decisions and also having to, overcome yada yada. Sure. Make your traps a lot easier, because I would, even if I was willing to forgive whomever, I never would have been able to figure this shit out.
I can't stress this enough. If you take someone and put them in a murder machine and turn that murder machine on, you are a murderer.
That's the way I was raised.
Sure. Make an easy murder trap. Of course you would say that, Stephen. You don't want to break the record of Mr. H.H. Holmes, the most wonderful man in America.
Of course, millennials are going to complain about how difficult my murder traps are. You know what? Take your $5 coffee and then, fucking roll up your sleeves and figure out a murder trap once in a while.
I mean, I just think about avocado toast, and I just think of a machine that would just chop everybody under 30's head off. Like, just clean off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is my murder machine harder than your Candy Crush game on your phone?
Maybe if you stop looking at your phone and fucking look at a murder machine once in a while, you'll be able to solve it.
Yeah, and maybe you could flip pancakes, put yourself through college on that good money, and buy 17 warehouses.
Oh my God, it's like they want a life that they can believe in and hope. Ha ha! I'll have to laugh at that when I talk with my best friend Donald Trump about this.
Oh, Jigsaw, you have done it again. We're going to get some of these installed at Mar-a-Lago.
So Jeff, meanwhile, Amanda and Jigsaw are really going at it now. We're yelling at each other. This is when Jigsaw is like, basically like, your traps suck because you're trying to murder people, and I never murder people. And Amanda, the most sensible thing in the movie is like, of course you do. That's all we're doing here, dude. We're murdering people.
This is where she does have the like, I'll tell you how I felt about Eric Matthews. And then this is the big like Donnie Wahlberg scene that like,
snooze alert.
They made all this hubbub of like, they kept it totally secret that Donnie Wahlberg was in this movie. Like, who gives a shit?
It doesn't matter. And also it's Donnie Wahlberg. It's not fucking Marlon Brando. You know what I mean? Like, you got to fucking surprise me with Marlon Brando in a Saw movie? Wow. Holy shit.
What do you want me to do here? They murdered my boy. Jigsaw, he murdered my boy.
That orange you have in your mouth right now is poisonous.
Now that is my Don Corleone impression.
It's a pretty good one. Like it's fucking Donnie Wahlberg. Actors I expect to see in the Saw movie, Donnie Wahlberg's at the top of the fucking list.
Yeah.
But so whatever, like this is what she walks away from after their fight, after they're their MTV Movie Awards snubbed fight. And yada yada yada. This is when she's he's like, you have to let Lynn go because she passed her test. I'm still alive. That's all we ask. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna do it because I'm mean and I'm a lady and ladies are bad. And he's like, oh, ladies are bad. What a good screenplay.
Excellent.
And yeah, this, that, and the other thing. And Jeff shows up and shoots her in the neck. And it's like, oh, and he's like, Amanda, guess what? Lynn, it wasn't Lynn's trap. It was yours. And you failed it. I saw this coming for some reason, that you would get shot in the neck and I would just watch it or something.
Oh, interesting.
And
what a genius. What a Machiavellian stroke of genius. This Jigsaw feller.
While he was doing this, like, if I was Lynn, even if I was Lynn, I would just be like, uh-huh. Like, I'd start doing the sarcastic, like, oh, sure, buddy. Yeah, okay, uh-huh. Okay, good.
Oh, that's right. Amanda shoots Lynn first.
Yeah.
And
yes.
And, and this is when, I watched this last night by myself. Jen had no interest in this film. But I laughed.
Rightfully so.
That's surprising given the Human Centipede.
Yeah, I mean, we don't love that movie, Eric. I just want to be clear about that. We don't watch that movie.
Their first date was not to go see Saw. It was to go see Human Centipede.
And actually, the Human Centipede movies do not take themselves as seriously as this movie.
It's better.
That's actually
I'll be
true.
honest with you,
That's
Human
true.
Centipede, that first movie, better movie.
I agree with
clearly.
you 100%.
Yep.
But
I'll take that action.
this next line made me laugh so hard. She's like, what happened? Because she shoots Lynn, and then I think she gets shot in the neck right afterwards, and Jigsaw goes, you just murdered Jeff's wife. But the way he delivers it is like, oh, that sandwich you just took a bite of? Oh, you're in trouble. That was Jeff's. Oh, boy.
He's going to be so steaming mad at you now.
That was Jeff's lunch.
I hope you like a strongly worded letter on your refrigerator.
He wrote his name on the bag, Amanda.
That was Jeff's wife. You murdered Jeff's wife. Really had me cackling.
And, here's the thing about it, too, dude, is like that is a line meant for the dumbest of the dumb, or in case you were in the bathroom in the theater and then you came back in and missed it, like the build up to it, because like they telegraph that Jeff is actually the one who is with Lynn. Yeah. Like you solve it way before, and then it's like, in case you were busy taking a shit, she just killed Jeff's wife.
Hey, literally Slow Joe in the back row. That lady, that's Jeff's wife.
You picked a bad time to get another bag of popcorn because that was Jeff's wife.
That's Jeff's wife, Lynn. Do you remember her name? It was Lynn.
Lynn Dellin? Yeah, well, turns out he's Jeff Dellin. How about that?
Game over.
Twisted picture.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Jeff is like, oh man, I'm really mad about you ruining my life a couple of times over here, Jigsaw. And he's like, could you forgive me, Jeff? And it's like, no, I can't, Jigsaw, because you're a piece of shit. And yeah, I'm going to murder you right now. Where he, and I believe there's different, what did Jeff use in this one? In your version is my question.
A
saw,
electric table saw.
Oh, okay, so that's what I had too. Okay, because
I think the circumstances of it are like what we see is like Lynn is like not dead, and she's trying to like tell him. Like, no, if he dies, this thing's gonna go off on me. Like she's trying to say that, but like can't speak.
Yeah, that's happening to me too. In my cut. Yeah, she's like, oh, but Jeff, don't, Jeff, kind of a thing.
Right. And then he slices his throat open basically,
Yeah.
and like Tobin Bell's kind of just smiling the whole time. I want to look it up though, Steve, because in the trivia here at the bottom, let's see, in the spoilers, god damn, now I'll see if I can find it somewhere. Son of a bitch. Of course, now I don't know where it was, but it was explaining what the difference was in the director's cut here. But I don't know. I can't find it.
In the director's cut, she's just called Lynn and not Jeff's wife.
You just killed Lynn. Hey, Amanda, did you notice you just killed
We had
Lynn?
we had to fight tooth and nail for that cut.
Do we ever know the name of the son that died at all?
Dylan.
Dylan.
Yes.
Is it Dylan?
Yeah.
It is Dylan, yeah.
Dylan Denlin? Okay.
Yeah, he deserved to die.
And the son, the daughter, Corbett. Yeah, I'm gonna name my daughter. How about Corbett?
Well, apparently that's the name. That is the name of Lee Wanell's now wife, but then girlfriend. So
Interesting.
So there you go.
Hey.
But so
Corbett.
as
I mean, I'm sure they're both lovely.
As Jigsaw dies, it's totally Jeff's fault, I guess, because now and Jigsaw did not kill Lynn, by the way.
No.
But no, her head explodes from multiple shotgun blasts.
Oh, wait. So, Steve, here's what it is. So, this is what IMDb says. So, tell me if this is what you saw. In another ending, Jigsaw drops the tape recorder instead of immediately playing it.
Yes.
A delusional Jeff quietly sits down next to his decapitated wife's corpse, not realizing that she is dead, saying that he's going to get her out of there before picking up the recorder and listening to it. So is that what happens?
That is what happens. And that's, you get to really see her like totally destroyed head, which is sort of something.
You get like a brief shot of that in what we saw, but Jigsaw plays the tape recorder in the theatrical cut. That's the difference I was thinking.
Got
of.
it.
And it doesn't matter one lick, everybody.
No, and then like it's like, oh, you're gonna play it. If you're gonna survive, Jeff, you have to play yet another game, which I don't believe ever happens, because in the next movie it's all about the other thing. I don't even know if we ever get to see.
In part 5, is Jeff finding the daughter? Then?
I don't know.
We have to go to Saw franchise expert Chris Cabot.
I do not believe. I believe that you're supposed to believe that they just die in here.
Yeah, I don't think Jeff comes back.
Interesting. Oh, take that, Jeff. You fucked it up again, dude. You fucking killed both of your children.
Good job, buddy.
Way to go, Jeff.
Well, Corbett comes back, I think, right? I was just on a character list, and it said that
maybe
she's alive.
Like she gets older and takes revenge or something.
I don't know. You saw this shit, not me.
It's been years, and I hate this. So yeah, I don't.
Corbett, all right. Corbett Denlin appears in Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6. Status alive.
Oh, so she's alive, but he is not.
But the thing is, with the way they do characters in these movies, maybe I have no idea if that's a central figure. Or they mention her, or they cut away.
It's all of because it even happens in this movie. Like at the end, right here, we get this like super fast montage of like everything that has happened across all 3 movies.
Yeah.
Like leading up to this moment of him getting his throat cut.
Okay, by the way, this says that Jeff dies in Saw 4 during the rescue mission for fucking Eric Matthews.
What? Well, maybe because I skipped part 3, I wasn't so moved about Jeff's death at the end.
Oh, that could be, dude. See, that you need to take in the whole franchise to really get the emotional weight of the whole thing. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Could lose. Could gain some pounds, I guess I could say.
And that is the film by Darren Lynn Bousman. God damn, man. It's like these movies are exhausting.
Yep.
For them to be like so nothing and to still be so exhausting, it's really a triumph.
Yeah, it's just disgusting and like off-putting in a very like lame way.
Yes, exactly. So we'll get right into the nose. Would anybody recommend this?
No,
Steve
of course not. I mean, I think that this. I don't even know. I couldn't even think about. I mean, maybe this is better than 2 or something. Nope, 2's probably better. I don't know. This one's just gross, and it takes fucking forever. And like, I really think you're supposed to care about Jigsaw and or Amanda. and that's impossible.
Yeah.
So therefore, the movie's a fucking failure, dude. You failed your movie because there's nobody likable in here. Not even Jeff himself is likable.
Nice. Chris Cabin?
Yeah, echo that. Fuck this movie. It's terrible. I mean, the thing about this series is that what you do come out with, the thing that I remember the most after watching all these things, is Jigsaw and his stupid fucking backstory.
Yeah.
Like, because he's the only character. Like, he's really the only person that they put real time into crafting and it took 7 movies to get the full story.
I thought you were going to say that the only thing you liked about these movies, or the thing you remember most about these movies, are the tie-in hot sauces from Taco Bell.
Well, they are splatterific and they are wonderful.
New Taco Bell pig juice sauce.
Wait, how's that different? How's that different from regular Taco Bell?
Yeah, put it on the carnitas. No, yeah, it's a terrible movie, and I wouldn't even say there's a good death here. So yeah, a complete waste of time.
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I don't even think there is a good death here, which is a bummer. I don't like the Saw movies. I don't like the torture porn stuff. I mean, I love some of the people that worked on this. I love a lot of their work. The aforementioned Becker, Upgrade, and Invisible Man. I love both of those movies. So
I still got to see Upgrade. That's good. Huh?
I really like it. I know maybe it's not everyone's bag, but it's basically an action, sci-fi, cyberpunk type
action
of thing. Yeah.
I also love when James Wan learned how to make scary movies with Insidious and The Conjuring. Those are fucking scary movies that are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
So it's a no for me if we didn't get to that. It's definitely a no.
Big no.
This is a hardcore no for me. This movie and the next one, I had technically seen massive greenouts to like poor quality torrents. So like I really only remembered like the last sequence of this movie because it was when I woke up to go to the bathroom and the movie was still on. But I have a feeling, and because this other franchise was mentioned, I feel like this is happening. So for a while, years ago, like it was really like pecking at the back of my noodle. Like, you've only seen those first 2 Hellraiser movies. And then we did an episode on the third one. And then I was like, just fucking do it. And I watched all of the Hellraiser movies. And like, gentlemen, it's just Episode City.
Ooh.
They're fucking terrible.
Yeah.
They're so terrible. I have a feeling, especially with a lot of these being placed on HBO Max, I might be completing watching all of these movies.
Dude, that's on you, man.
I know.
I want to be really clear.
I know.
No one's asking you to do that. I just want to be really clear.
I know.
You know what?
I know that inevitably too, when we do the next Saw movie, I'm gonna have to rewatch something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But there's this disgusting, sick, twisted pictures like mentality in my head where I'm like, well, I got to finish the franchise. So I don't know, because I know I'm going to see Spiral. So I can't just see the latest.
Watch Upgrade instead. That's my
okay. I won't do any of the sequels until I've seen Upgrade. How about that?
Good.
And the problem with watching those sequels is that you're going to forget that there's nothing memorable. Like, you're not gonna locking those in for Spiral. They're just it's pouring over you like water.
Let me ask you this, Chris Cabin.
Yes.
After this movie, do I have to put up with Shawnee Smith anymore?
I do believe so. I think you're talking to her at least. I think you see at least one more flashback.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you talked me right out of this whole project then. That is Saw 3, directed by Darren, Lynn, Bousman. If you want more We Hate Movies, of course, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/We Hate Movies. We have a quite entertaining We Love Movies episode out right now on the masterful John Carpenter's Escape from New York, which was a little bit of a tie-in to little mini Russell Rules we had at the beginning of the month. Because we were, of course, talking about the great Stargate. What the hell else we got on that Patreon this month, gentlemen?
We've got an episode on The Critic to tie in with last week's Talking Simpsons crossover app on the Simpsons. So we're talking about The Critic. I believe it's Dr. J is that episode.
Right. And that's kind of a
great episode.
WLM, obviously.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Fucking love it, baby. And we also have our, obviously, our Nexus is coming up this week. Or coming up this month.
Yep. And we are talking about a massive Star Wars character this month,
Oh,
Eric, I
yes,
believe. Is that right?
yes. One of the Imperials you might recognize from Empire Strikes Back, played by Julian Glover, General Veers. The famous line, we all know, you guys jump to it before me if you want, but General Veers, prepare your men. Or what? Anyway, I don't want to spoil the Gleep glossary. Tune in for the rest of that line.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh, nice little Gleep cliffhanger. Gleep hanger,
keep him wanting more.
That's right. And my episode by episode Becker podcast is on hiatus forever.
It's failing miserably is what it is.
Oh, no, that's my other one too.
No, you just had Angelica on, which
yes,
rules.
that's right. Angelica Jade Bastien, if you like her on this program and her amazing writing, she was on Hooked on TJ Hooker, the TJ Hooker podcast that for some reason exists.
And as always, here on the main feed, we're keeping the train rolling next week. Steve, we got a brand spanking new episode out for folks, which will be on what?
The Mighty Ducks.
Ooh, the OG classic.
Sure. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not great. This is going to be a nostalgia buster.
It's a classic of drunk driving cinema.
A little theme going across a couple of these episodes.
Yeah.
Could have hit a kid. Oh, Saw taking
Hello,
Amelia.
Gordon Bombay.
Would you want to play a game that's not hockey? So until next week with the Mighty Ducks, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Soska.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy.
We all go a little mad sometimes. You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
Sometimes that is better.
Zombies have entered the building. They're at the door. They're coming in.
It is time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
He's sick for fuck's. You've seen one too many movies.
Now, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
What's the fucking illusion about? What an excellent day for an exorcism.
That was a HeadGum podcast.